keep people on their toes. Hey, welcome into Rob Wright's Gen X Pop Culture. And today we are talking about the top 40 of 1971. With me is my wonderful panel. Let's go around and introduce everybody. Agent Pepsi One, how are ya?
Hey, I'm doing well. I am so looking forward to this week. It's the last week of school, and I'll be off for a bit.
Yeah.
But I am even more looking forward to this beautiful 1971 panel. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And then with us, as always, is Stark of Iron. How are you, sir?
And I have to say, love, this was the beginning of great times that were had by all.
Love the Aussie.
What else can I say besides this was the beginning of the great Black Sabbath, and therefore my Steve Kerr, what did you do over there? I'm happy to be here, Rob Wright. Thank you for having me, dude.
And thank you so much for doing a raid on this. We're so grateful
no
for
problem,
you bringing,
dude. We take
bringing
care
your
of our
channel
own.
members over.
I love my
awesome.
Xanadu family.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And speaking of our Xanadu family, Heather L., how are you?
Hey, Rob. Hey, chat. Great to see you all. Thanks for having us get together here again, talking about these great songs. It's another great weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Ozzy, love you.
So
glad you could join
Let
us.
me put
I'm a
on the
huge
right
fan.
face claim, love.
I'm a
I love you
huge
too.
fan.
You're a big fan. And listen. If you want me to bite the head off of a two-headed bat down there in the Nuke Yacht Wasteland, love, I got your ticket.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
yeah, I mean, we're getting into the, you have almost the birth of heavy metal right in
Birth of heavy metal.
Yep. So very cool. But I just want to say thank you to all of our audience members. Glad you guys are here. Feel free to leave comments in the chat. We do read them, and we'll sometimes pop them up as we're going through it. Our format's usually pretty simple. We go through them 10 at a time and count them down from the 40 off the Billboard final charts. But in between, we'll talk about some of the music news from that year in 1971. There's a lot that happened. Some sad news, some happy news, some fun news, all mixed in. And then right before we get the top 10, we do go over the songs that are not in the top 40 that probably should be. So
personal faves.
Oh, personal faves. There are a lot of them. There are a lot of this year has a lot of great songs. It's got some unusual songs. Like we're gonna get some in this first set of 10, and I'm just like, what? So
yeah, and
there
I
are
think
one or two that I've never heard before. So
this might be the real beginning of the boy band era with the Osmonds, sappy, like little sugary sweet crap.
Oh yeah, a lot of the Osmonds. We're getting a lot of the Carpenters.
Little Jackson 5, yeah.
Yeah, we have some Agent Pepsi One's favorite, the Jackson 5.
That's useless.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, we've got some unusual ones, so we'll talk about them. We'll tell you what our favorite ones are, and we may tell some history about some of these songs. They're interesting, let me tell you. But anyway, let me go ahead and bring to the stage my little what's that?
That groovy graphic, baby.
Yeah, the groovy graphic. But it's the ad. Okay, hang on.
That's 1971.
There we go. Top 40 songs in 1971. Pretty cool graphic. I think YouTube took my original graphic down off the thumbnail. So,
it did what?
Yeah, it took my thumbnail down. So I don't know why, but anyway, Lombardi 1969. Yes, we're gonna get to Maggie May.
Yeah, we are.
That's definitely in the top 40. I mean, I definitely have a reason to believe that it's in the top 40.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely. It was like
here's my drum roll for that. Come on, reason to believe it's the B side of Maggie May. Come on.
Maggie May was also one of the primary songs that people, got laid to. Let's be honest. It was.
God, I'm missing out. I've never gotten laid to Maggie May.
I have.
She
Wow.
said, "I have."
Okay,
See?
all right.
Well, for once, Agent
Do we want to
Pepsi 1
take
and I
this
are in
show off
agreement.
topic and find out more
Yeah.
about Agent Pepsi One's love life here?
Hey now, hey
God.
now,
Hey, wow. Good stuff.
hey now.
Wow.
I'm terrible, y'all. I'm so blushing.
I'm so glad that at least one person did it. Like, because Agent Pepsi 1, I know like 3 people that have all confessed to me that they have had relations with that song. So
Yeah, I
Wow.
mean,
now you're number 4.
I thought it was you and your buddies, Stark, hooking up with the Cougars. was
Hey
like
man,
the-
Cougar Town's where it's at. Real
Yeah.
talk.
Wow. Okay. We just stayed in the gutter here. All right. Let's get to our top 10.
oh my god.
Let's get to our top 40. So here we go. We're counting them down from 40 to 31 here. We've got Never Can Say Goodbye by
Mhm.
Agent Pepsi One's favorite group, the Jackson 5. Cher makes an appearance without Sunny with Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. The Carpenters, again, with some of their big hits. Rainy Days and Mondays is one of their big hits. Help Me Make It Through the Night by Sammy Smith.
Yes.
A beautiful Gordon Lightfoot song, If You Could Read My Mind. The Carpenters again, For All We Know. And for all we know, we're going to have more Carpenter songs.
Yes.
Then probably the most unusual song I've ever heard, and I just recently heard it this week for this top 40, Chicka Boom.
Really? It's your
Daddy
first time
Dewdrop.
hearing it? Oh wow.
Me too. That was
Okay.
weird.
Yeah.
That was freaking
Okay.
weird, man.
Yeah.
Holy
Then we
crap.
get there are some religious songs that came into the 70s that came in there. So you've got Put Your Hand in the Hand. And then
Yes.
we're gonna hear a whole lot from Donny Osmond and the Osmonds. So Sweet and Innocent. Take it for what you think it might mean. And then, of course, one of the biggest songs of 1971, which came out in later 1971, but I think is one of his best songs, My Sweet Lord by George Harrison.
I agree.
Who wants a crack at this first set of 10 first?
You know what? I'll go. I will go.
Oh, do I need to get the fight bell?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, but I will go. Number one of these. No, the Jacksons do not. I'm gonna do my Harvey impression. What did he say? Xanadu, Solio, something like that. No, the Jacksons are not my favorite. This is terrible, but it's music of the era, and therefore it's understandable. Yeah, I can see that at number 40. I really can. Hey, Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, in my view, it's one of the best songs Cher put out.
Mm-hmm.
It tells a story. I mean, it's really great. I mean, this song is really great. I love listening to this song.
It's controversial also.
It's a great song.
Yeah, I mean, really controversial. It's about it's about the 16-year-old girl that gets pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the Carpenters, again, music of the era. And I have to be in a mood to like the Carpenters, but these songs are really nice. But some of the other stuff, I mean, I've never heard of Daddy Dewdrop. Chicka Boom, I've never heard of that one.
Did you have a chance to listen to it for tonight?
I have not.
It is wild, but it's awesome. I
Yeah,
like it. It's awesome.
Some of the other stuff like George Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
Billboard is a beautiful song, Sweet and Innocent, by Donny Osmond. Hey, it's nice. So yeah, I mean, I can see these songs. There's nothing wrong with these 10 songs, and but something to what. So I think what Heather said that this was it might have been Rob. It said this is the beginning of heavy metal, 1971.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that the band Steppenwolf in 1968 was Born to Be Wild coined the phrase heavy metal?
Yeah.
Really?
Correct.
Did not know that. That's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, they
Love that song.
coined the phrase heavy metal in relation to music, where heavy metal is actually, it's like heavy water is designed for, nuclear physics.
But it also had the the psychedelic electric organ elements, which you hear in a lot of like early Sabbath, Iron Butterfly,
Yeah, I mean,
Steppenwolf.
Deep Purple,
A
for
point that I
example.
wanted to make later. Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
So, folks, like if I cough a bit, my allergies are killing me, and so again, I apologize. But yeah, I love these first 10 songs. They are really
Mhm.
good. Even the Jackson song I can see being in there.
Mhm. Cool. All right, who wants to go next?
I'll take a poke. All right, to elaborate on the Christian folk that you see here, we have CCR to thank for that. You got to remember this is at
Mhm.
the rear end of Vietnam, and Christian protest was at an all-time high for peace, and so Christian folk music became a norm. It became a standard for the early 70s folk music, and CCR led that.
Mhm.
But my personal favorites on this is obviously Donny Osmond's Sweet and Innocent. Like, that is an earworm like nothing else.
Mhm.
But also Chickaboom was also an experimental title. The reason why I use experimental title is because it is an experimental song. The fact that it's catchy, like there's a thing in musical theory where if a song is catchy, people will be singing it for 10 years. A case example is the DuckTales theme song from DuckTales. From like
Woo!
that song, when you hear the words duck and tails in the same sentence, there's a thing in musical theory where it states, yes, it's that catchy. Chickaboom
Great. I
back
got
then
stuck
was
in my head.
that catchy. It was a radio hog, and that's the reason why it's on the list.
Yeah, not to mention it's about something that Agent Pepsi 1 and Heather L have that we don't. But
correct. But I'm being professional.
yeah,
But it makes sense. I mean, the whole point of free love, you got to remember this is coming down. The free love movement's actually coming down at this point in 1971. From 1968 to 72 was like the echelon of the free love movement, the late 60s, early 70s. We just put a man on the moon. Everybody is protesting the establishment. Screw the war. Geek out the squares. Freak out the squares. That was in session in like popular culture for the teenagers, especially the ones that were entitled and rich. But we won't.
Yeah, I
go
mean,
there.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no,
Chickaboom, don't you just love it? That's right, Tim. That's right.
Chickaboom, later to become Bow Chicka Wow Wow.
Now, Chicka
Yes.
Wow.
yes,
Correct.
it's about
Right.
exactly what you think it is.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's the reason why individuals like a particular squid in a fishbowl in the center of the earth might enjoy a particular title like this. But these songs definitely set the stage for the coming down of an era of free love and coming up with the up-tempo songs that would later be evolved into heavy metal. Black Sabbath obviously established themselves in 1971. And so
Exactly.
you see the paradigm shift of what is groovy and mellow to this is awesome. I want to bite the head off of a bat, which takes about 6 years in total for that transition in the musical zeitgeist. So this is a good list, and it's also good to see Cher working on her own because Sonny was a kind of a prick. But anyway, I digress. That is my point-to-point focus. I believe it's now Heather L's turn.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right.
You know,
So, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, in a response to Tony, that he's absolutely right with that, with it going into heavy metal. But you already have bands like Deep Purple at the time that were definitely
I would
heavy
say
metal.
Smoke on the
And
water, baby.
69, 70 is
Yeah, I
already
mean,
starting. This year you're
exactly.
starting to get more. But yeah, you get it developing
But
a couple years.
it's
Oh, there's a lot
also-
on the news about that when we get to it.
Yeah, but also it is what's happening in the early 70s. Disco was a response later on to this music as well. In fact, disco, in my opinion, is a response to the bubblegum music.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's just fast dance music, and that's where I think that came from. So it's all about this era of I don't want to say enlightenment, but it was an explosion of creativity.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're getting into the late 60s, early 70s where you had so many creative artists. But
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah.
Every band had a laboratory, and their music was their experiment. This
Mhm.
was the
Yeah, and I agree with
transition
that.
of the decade. Yes.
Yeah, so much change and growth in it. It's a great era.
Mhm.
Yep. Heather, what do you think of these 10?
All right. I absolutely love Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. Just the lyrics. I was born in the wagon of a traveling show, and
Absolutely,
talking
it's
about Grandpa,
beautiful.
preach a little gospel, sell a
Mhm.
few bottles of Dr. Good. Man, I
Good.
love that. Cher's voice. The first time I heard this song was actually Cher singing it live in Vegas, because it wasn't
Wow.
a song I was familiar with really. It's older song. And I used to go to Vegas a lot for work, and she just happened to be there. Her show had been there for a long time. I was like, oh, I'll go see Cher. It'll be fun. Oh man, her show was really awesome. And she sang this song. She sang a lot of older songs, and I was like, oh, I love this song. It's great. Just she has one of the best sounding voices. It's deeper than most women's, but it just has that
Mhm.
warm, kind of deep, rich tone. The rhythm of the way the cadence of the verses are in this song is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Really, really
beautiful.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one, I mean, if you could read my mind, Gordon Lightfoot, just the
Oh, just
storytelling, the poetic lyrics, it's just a beautiful song. God, and so personal to him, just really kind of heartbreaking. And I had almost forgotten about this song that he did this one, that it was by him, and so it was really cool listening to this again. The acoustic
Hey.
guitar, the string arrangements,
Mhm.
amazing. Jackson 5 Never Can Say Goodbye, I think is a great Motown song. To me, it's their best song, the Jackson 5 from their younger era. Like, it's so far
Mhm.
above the ABC, and that it's not like a kiddie bubblegum song.
Yeah.
very true.
It's more
Very true.
Motown and less sellout.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I could hear like someone like Diana Ross singing it, or an older
Funny you
artist.
should mention that.
It's cool because it just sounds more adult
Mhm.
to me. I think it's a really good
Mhm.
song. And of course,
Yep.
My Sweet Lord, George Harrison, the first #1 by an ex-Beatle. And I think it's funny. We always hear about this Phil Spector's kind of treatment of on his production, and between the Paul McCartney not liking it on some of the Beatles stuff. I thought that was interesting. And
Yeah.
Harrison's guitar technique is
Mhm.
fantastic. So
Mhm.
those
But
are
Phil Spector, however, I mean, you don't like him, don't like him. The man was a genius.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
He
absolutely.
he was a musical genius. I don't know what really went on later on in his life, that he got incarcerated for, what was it, 15 years before he passed. But
Mhm.
I mean, the man was an absolute musical genius, and like all geniuses, there's some people that are going to, because ego driven.
Hmm.
How much of this, I heard with Paul McCartney, he didn't really like his style, but how much of this is ego driven versus
Yeah. Oh, I
actual? I
think
mean,
so.
Oh yeah,
It's
absolutely.
someone else put their stamp on it, and maybe he didn't like it,
yeah,
but it's cool. I
exactly.
mean, it's mentioned all the time in the songs of this era, and of
Mhm.
course it was his, what he was doing at the time. So I
Right.
definitely it's a progression or an experimental phase. That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That Chicka Boom song, man, that's just weird AF. And I'm sorry, Stark,
But
man,
I'm
that
telling
sweet
you,
and innocent
it was an
thing.
earworm. It was an earworm.
That
It was
sweet and innocent
bumping on the
thing is
stereo, and you know it.
oh,
It was
no, no,
bumping in
no.
people's cars, and you know it.
Oh, God. I hope not.
It probably played a
Oh no,
lot at
that's
certain places that I don't go
It
to.
definitely was.
that is
Oh my
extremely
God.
uncomfortable, but that's okay.
For maybe like the junior high kids first date kiss,
Yes.
maybe. I
Yes, it
mean,
was
it's just
so
not
it's so
not something I wanna
juvenile. It is
not
very
wanna
juvenile.
I
It
don't
is
wanna
very
think about it. I don't wanna think about it. The Carpenters aren't my cup of tea. I mean, Karen Carpenter obviously has a great voice, but they're just not something that
Rob,
speaks
right?
to
You
me.
need to ask Harvey to read those lyrics off. I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I do. I debated
yeah.
that the other night and decided not to.
Do it.
It might be as bad as Bieber. That's
You know,
just
Sid
terrible.
Relderson is in the chat, by the way. So he is the high priest of Harvey.
Yes.
So he
Yes.
knows about this.
He is. Well, okay. Let me give my take on these 10. Did you have any other
No,
thoughts, Heather?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right. So the reason why the Jackson 5 song sounds so mature, Never Can Say Goodbye, is that it was originally written for the Supremes. And they turned it down, and the Jacksons did that. Now, there's a lot of that theme that you're going to see through some of these songs. I think Cher's Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves is very good. It's actually a very mature song for that time, and it was very controversial because of teenage pregnancy, which made it interesting as well. Help Me Make It Through the Night by Sammy Smith is actually a Chris Christopherson song. And the interesting thing about Chris Christopherson is that he was a very talented artist. I didn't think he was that great a singer, but as a writer, he was amazing. He wrote some amazing songs. If you actually look at some of the songs that he wrote, I think you really do need to give him a lot of credit for what he's written, because he's written some amazing stuff for many people. If You Could Read My Mind by Gordon Lightfoot is very, as Heather mentioned, it's very personal. Part of the reason is he was going through a divorce at the time he wrote that song. And it was basically him reaching out to his ex for one last time. And that's kind of what the song's about. And the lyric, help me understand the feelings that you lack, is just nails on the chalkboard type. I mean, it just hits home.
Right.
And that's just, it's very deep. And that's why I think to me, it's his best song. It's the one I love the most because there's just a good range in it. And it's just a deep song and a personal song. And I appreciate when artists will dig into their guts for a song. I love that. I mentioned the Carpenters, for all we know, Rainy Days and Mondays. Rainy Days and Mondays is probably the most well-known song of the Carpenters, I think.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Chicka Boom, I'll say this about it. It was weird when I first listened to it. I first looked up the lyrics, then I listened to it. I was just like, what? So
what I'm gathering is I'm the only one here that knew about that song.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my heavens.
Yeah.
That says a lot about me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Put your hand in the hand. I'm glad you brought up the gospel stuff, because we get a lot of gospel songs, like you mentioned.
There's a lot of God love, a lot of gospel, a lot of preaching.
Now, did you know Sweet and Innocent was originally recorded by another artist that's very famous, especially in the 50s? Any guesses? He wore glasses, and it's not Buddy Holly.
I was going to say Buddy Holly, but
it was originally written
Roy Orbison.
Written and performed by Roy Orbison.
Wow.
So Roy Orbison won it. And then My Sweet Lord, George Harrison, I agree with Heather Al. That guitar in that song is just amazing. I love it. And, I think George Harrison towards the end of the Beatles and into this phase, I think is where his peak was with some of these songs. I mean, when he was at the Beatles, While My Guitar Gently Weeps is one of my favorite Beatles songs.
Oh my God, yes.
Something is a beautiful Beatles song that he wrote and sang. I mean, these were some of his songs that he had that the Beatles, I don't think they treated him right at the end. They should have had more of his stuff, because he had some real talent and really good stuff.
I like his writing a lot better than Paul McCartney's. I'm sorry. Paul, his solo stuff, I don't think is that great. I think George's writing is better toward the end, and he's an underrated guitar player. His songs are some of my favorite Beatles songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a clash of egos in the Beatles.
It was.
And I think that at the end really broke them up. Is that fundamental clash of egos?
Yeah.
But Paul McCartney, I think it's going to be 73 maybe. That song he did with Wings.
83, I think. But
No.
Yeah.
It's 73. It's called
what he wrote.
I can't think of it now. But it's a really great song. It'll come to me in a second. I'm sorry. It's just I just went completely blank.
Oh wow, there's an all thanks FKHC 2005. There's a Beatles channel, Dark Horse Radio, which is all George Harrison. That's really
Yep,
cool.
all George Harrison. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome. But yeah, I mean,
George
I think
was the better
McCartney
guitar
had some
player.
okay
Let's be
ones,
real. You're right, Heather. George is the better guitar player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. George
leaps and bounds.
Yeah, George
He's
is a
a
great
better
guitar.
musician.
Mhm.
If you ask
Yes.
me, he's a better musician all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah, and actually, it was George that got you know several people involved in reuniting the Beatles and producing the Beatles. So you had Jeff Lynne who produced the Beatles when they reunited for those 3 albums in the late '90s, and it was Jeff Lynne who did it, and he was friends with George Harrison. So, but anyway, also George Harrison does the pirate song off of My Sweet Lord. Just had to mention that if you've never seen the video for that. So
Hey, it was Band on the Run. That's what I was thinking of. Band on the
Mhm.
Run.
Mm.
I think
Yeah.
that was the best song that Paul McCartney did in his solo career. It's amazing, but
Yeah, I like that song.
yeah, it's a good one. So anything else about these 10?
Living the dream. It's great start.
Good start.
Okay. All right. Let's get into some music news. So the year in music, 1971. Let's talk about what happened there. And we're going to do January through June. So who's got February through March?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Go for it. Let's talk about February through March. What's going on there?
Well, aren't you doing January through?
Yeah, but there's nothing in January.
Oh,
Yeah,
there was nothing in January. Good.
February, March.
Okay, cool. Carry on.
So
Yeah.
once again, please do bear with me because I'm suffering from my stupid allergies.
Nah, I understand.
Mississippi is tough. Mississippi is tough all time of the year, but it's bad this time of year. February 1st, it says after months of feuding in the press, Ginger Baker and Elvin Jones hold their duel at the Lyceum. Yeah, no,
I
I'm
bet that
sorry,
was
drum battle, not a duel. But I'm glad there wasn't a shootout.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So on February 3rd, Davy Jones announces that he's leaving the Monkees. The Monkees, just as a reminder, they started out as a created for television band, but they learned to play their instruments because none of those 4 people were actual musicians. So this is something that normally doesn't happen, but it happened here. And Davy Jones,
Decent singer.
Yeah, I mean, say what you want about him. He was a decent singer. I mean, he did. February 8th, you have Bob Dylan, hour-long documentary. The document is premiered at the New York Academy of Music. And this film includes footage from Dylan's 1966 UK tour. And on February 16th, Alan Pissarro of the Hells Angels was acquitted of the January 19, 1969. I'm sorry. He was acquitted on January 19th of the killing of Meredith Hunter at the Altamont Speedway in 1969. And then he filed a lawsuit against the Rolling Stones for invasion of privacy because the documentary film Giving Shelter showed the stabbing.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you want to explain some of that real quick?
Yeah. Let me.
Yeah. Let me explain that since we mentioned it. So the Rolling Stones, for some reason, they hired the Hells Angels to be kind of the bodyguards of the people.
Yeah, security. Yeah.
Security for their concert at Altamont Speedway in 1969, and apparently a fight broke out and somebody got stabbed.
Yeah,
and it showed up on their documentary, Give Me Shelter, which is, that's interesting. But basically, there was a lawsuit from that because of that.
Yeah, and that concert at Altamont was supposed to be the West Coast equivalent to Woodstock earlier the year.
Yep.
And it was. I mean, who in their right mind hires the Hells Angels as security? I mean, that's just plain stupid.
Welcome to the 60s and 70s.
Rock bands of the day.
I mean, these people made a mistake. God, it was stupid.
Clearly.
All right. But but the thing is, it's much worse than that.
Tim hit the nail on the head. The chat. He says, "Hell's Angels running security. What could go wrong?"
Yep.
But I mean, it was much worse than that because it's been said that Woodstock was the height of the flower power movement.
Yep.
And Altamont was its death. So,
Yep.
All right. On February 19th, one of my favorite bands ever, Queen, performs its first public concert in London.
Cool.
And March 1st, the lineup for Queen is completed with bassist John Deacon, who then joins the band. On March 6th at the Ulster Hall in Belfast, Northern Ireland, he's the first performance of Led Zeppelin's iconic song, Stairway to Heaven, which, by the way, comes from my favorite Led Zeppelin album, Zeppelin 4. And the song before that is Battle of Evermore, which is the best Led Zeppelin song. And I don't care what Tony has to say about that. It's the best Led Zeppelin song.
I want to make. No, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I'm going to make a point. The chords ensemble for Stairway to Heaven, for what I've gathered, is a lot easier to play on guitar than it is on the piano.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially, he used a 12-string and then he went electric.
Yeah, because I downloaded the sheet music one night just poking around, and I'm like, oh my God, this is hard.
When the Levee Breaks is also on that.
Yes. That's my favorite Led Zeppelin song.
Yep.
So just another point to that, folks. There is a Russian pianist who fled Russia. I think she lives in Spain now, and she had a channel on YouTube. She's very famous, Gazelda, something like that. She's a younger lady, probably in her 20s, and she's a classical pianist, but she plays heavy metal songs on the piano. Watch her channel. Watch some of the stuff. She plays Stairway to Heaven. It is
Does she have
phenomenal.
sheet music?
No, she does it. She does it from memory. She does it from memory. I mean, I don't know if she has sheet music. I'm sure she does to learn it. But
yes, because I would like to play some metal at some point.
What's her channel's name again?
It's called Gazmolda, something like that. Anyway, if you type in God something and then piano covers, it'll take you right there.
Okay, cool.
You can't miss her. She has like long blonde hair.
Interesting.
Where was I?
We're learning a lot here tonight, folks.
You're March 6th.
Yeah, March 6th, Soul to Soul concert takes place in Accra, Ghana. Why the beep would you play concert in Ghana at this time? Okay, never mind. It's headlined by Wilson Pickett. March 12th to 13th, the Allman Brothers record its live album at Fillmore East. If you don't have that one, I highly recommend it.
Excellent.
Yeah, on March 16th, the 13th Grammy Award honoring musical accomplishments of 1970 is presented. You know what, these people, we did 1970, we were much better than them. The ceremony are broadcast live on television for the first time. Simon & Garfunkel wins the Album of the Year, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year for their final album, Bridge Over Troubled Water, and his title track, The Carpenters win Best New Artist.
Cool. Any more comments on February, March?
Nope.
Negative.
Stark, you want to give us April through June of 1971?
April through June. But of course, my good fellow, if I'm going to be doing the news,
I need to do it right and proper. So let's go ahead and get right to it, shall we? On the year of our Lord 1971, April 3rd, the 16th Eurovision Song Contest held in the Gaiety Theatre, Dublin, was won by Monaco with the song Un Banco Nobra Un Rue, sung by the great Severine. On the April 6th, the Rolling Stones held a party in Kennis to officially announce their new contract with Atlantic and the launch of the Rolling Stones records. On April 8th, the bomb explodes at the CBC Stand gig in Saigon, killing 2. In the April of 19th, Gil Scott-Heron records the first rap song that a revolution will not be televised in RCL studio in New York. On May the 1st, the year of our Lord 1971, Bill Withers releases his seminal first album, Just as I Am. May 12th, Mick Jagger marries Bianca de Macias in the St. Tropez, France, in a Roman Catholic ceremony. Among the wedding guests were the remaining Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, Eric Clapton, and Stephen Stills. And that is all the way up until June, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to this part of our radio broadcast.
You're June also.
Oh, you want me to do June? Oh, of course, of course. June, Raphael Kubelik becomes the music director of the Metropolitan Opera, New York, at the invitation of the Grand Guitar. The new general manager, June 1st, Elvis Presley's birthplace. A two-room shack in Tupelo, Mississippi, is open to the public as a tourist attraction. June 6th, John Lennon and Yoko Ono. Oh, my dear Yoko. Join Frank Zappa on the stage of Fillmore East for an encore jam. The performance would be considered and released for the following year on the sometime in New York City Outlook. June 8th, Keller King gives her first live concert at the Carnegie Hall. June 20th through the 24th, the first Glastonbury Festival takes place in the summer solstice and is held in southwest England. Performers include David Bowie, the great David Bowie, God rest your soul, sir, Traffic, Fairport Convention, Quintessence, and Hawkwind. June 21st, the Celebration of the Light Festival finally gives away to 3.5 days late of the Ponte Coupe Paris, Louisiana, my home alma mater. Pink Floyd, the Beach Boys, Miles Davis, and B.B. King are among the performers. On the 24th, the Celebration of Life Festival was closed down by the authorities after promoters Stephen Capello and Ken Lynn failed to provide through enough supplies of food, medical, and sanitary facilities. Only 9 of 27 advertised performers showed up, and of the 150 festival goers, they were arrested. Oh dear. No parking ticket. And then last but not least, on June the 27th, promoter Bill Graham closes the Fillmore East in New York City with a final concert featuring the Allman Brothers Band, the Beach Boys, and Mountain. Patrons are given a commemorative posters at the door and find red roses in their seats. Now we play the applause track, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this segment of the news in the year of our Lord 1971. Back to you, Rob Wright.
Yeah. Anything that stood out to you guys from April to June? Some interesting stuff. Agent Pepsi 1, do you ever go to Tupelo, Mississippi and see Elvis's birthplace? Is that still a tourist attraction?
She's on mute.
Oh, she's on mute. Okay.
Yeah.
She needs to unmute.
Second. I'm sorry. I was coughing so much I had to put myself on mute. Yeah, no, it's on Tupelo is off the beaten path. It really is. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is about. I mean, if you take I-55 north to here, going to Memphis, it's about 2.5 hours, and you have to drive like an hour to get to Tupelo off the interstate.
Interesting. So I guess it's one of those tourist traps. But it seems like a lot of people are trying to copy Woodstock with all these festivals.
Yeah, for sure.
Correct.
And
Yep.
trying
wanting
to capture a spirit that was,
They just want a
already
slice
gone.
of the pie. You know how people are.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Anything
but
else
I mean,
that stood out to this on
You know,
this?
Woodstock was unique. I mean, that's all it was.
Mhm.
It was unique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, it's a lot of interesting stuff. So, we'll continue with the rest of the year after we get back to the top 10. We try and go through each of the 10, and then give you some news and other stuff. That way, it breaks up everything. So, but let's get back to the countdown here. Let's do 30 through 21, and this is an interesting set of songs here. We've got the Carpenters again. This is a running theme with their album, Superstar. The Grassroots with Temptation Eyes, which I find is a really good song. Jerry Reed crosses over with Amos Moses. It's a country song, and it crossed over in the Billboard top, and you'll see a lot of that in the 70s too. Murray Head and the Trinidad Singers, the theme song from Jesus Christ Superstar. Murray Head is well known for a lot of composition and songs from musicals.
Oh, yes.
Very famous for One Night in Bangkok as well.
Mhm.
I Found Someone of My Own by the Free Movement as an interesting song. Of course, Tom Jones, She's a Lady, which is good. A popular song that you might not know that it's by this band, but Signs by Five Man Electric Band. Then, of course, we got the famous Bill Withers song, Ain't No Sunshine. Finally, we've got Paul and Linda McCartney, Uncle Albert, Eleanor Halsey, and then a very revolutionary song, very popular Marvin Gaye song, What's Going On. So, who wants the first crack at this set of 10?
The urge to sing 3 of these songs right now is real. But I will relent. What can be said about one of my favorite tunes is, let's hear, yes, Ain't No Sunshine. This is core Motown to me. And She's a Lady by Tom Jones. These are 2 songs that I can sing. And I really am fighting the urge. This is a good 30 to 20. Superstar by the Carpenters, really, really good. Admiral Halsey is really, really good. Uncle Albert. And What's Going On? Oh my God. What's going on? I got to fight the urge. Go on to somebody else. Somebody else. Go.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next then, I guess. So to me, Ain't No Sunshine, Bill Withers, so awesome. And there's like a phenomenal live version out there on YouTube. And just watching these guys, like the band, they're just such cool cats. And they all look like they've self-medicated pretty well, which is amazing that, they can still play really well.
Yeah, they did self-medicate. What you talking about?
Which is the case with a lot of these live. You see live performances, right? Late 60s, early 70s, and these dudes are just like beyond chilled. They've all got like glasses on, and it's indoors.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, but yeah, he's got a great voice. Just sitting there singing. It's not stuff that you see today, right? Because it's not engineered at all. Really cool. Love that song. Superstar is pretty cool. Jesus Christ Superstar is the whole thing is really awesome. I love that. Just epic sounding. Signs. I like this 5-man electrical band version. I heard the Tesla version first. Obviously grown up. I like that version too. The keyboard in this is cool because it kind of has a gospel-y sound to it.
I agree.
Yeah, which makes it interesting, right? Because the lyrics, especially the last verse where he's in the church. So it's kind of cool to have that gospel sound to it. She's a Lady, Tom Jones. It's the most rockin' kind of Tom Jones song with the electric guitar and stuff. I think that it's also it's good. And Tom Jones is another cool cat for sure.
I love singing Tom Jones songs. Say what you will about him not being like Rat Pack quality crooning. I humbly and
he's got that super deep voice, right? That's just kind of sexy sounding. I mean,
my favorite one to perform by Tom Jones is What's New Pussycat. That's my favorite. Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But the song that Amos Moses, he's talking about like hitting alligators in the head with a stump
poaching alligators. Yeah.
Yep, he's an alligator hunter.
Okay, that was a weird one that I was not familiar with.
Every time I hear the Ballad of Amos Moses, I think of the chocolate chip cookies, famous Amos brand chocolate chip cookies.
Hopefully they don't have some alligator bait mixed in there.
I'm
thinking about that now. That was odd. It was just odd.
Yes.
But those are, that's the standouts to me. Admiral Halsey is okay. It's just okay to me. I'm sorry to the McCartney fans. I just, he's just okay.
Okay. Of these, let me preface this. Admiral Halsey, I don't like at all. Oh God. And Amos Moses, I don't like at all.
Wow, really? I thought that sounds fun. Oh, here we go. I got to get the fight bell.
Yeah,
You and I have
okay.
you and I are disagreeing here. Absolutely not. That song is fun. That
Okay,
song is fun.
Be that as it may, I will tell you, my favorite song of these. I actually have two that I can't tell you which one is I like more. It is "She the Lady" by Tom Jones. That man is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The singing is phenomenal. I have his greatest hits on Super Audio CD.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is just. I mean, it's just melt when you listen to this. And if I've seen a video of him from like 1966. This guy, this guy is just amazing. And I think it was Tony who said something about that he was not of the Rat Pack
He's not
quality.
officially part of the Rat Pack, but in my opinion, he is a hell of a damn good crooner, and I love
Yeah.
singing his songs.
He's
Absolutely.
every bit as good as Dean Martin and the others.
Yep.
Yeah, he was the sex symbol back then too.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this man is. I mean, and when he sang "She the Lady," I've seen a video. It must have been 1971, 72 ish. It was one of these variety shows. I saw a video on YouTube. I mean, this guy is just amazing. And my other one that is my top two of these would be the Grassroots, Temptation Eyes. I love the Grassroots. They are an amazing band. I've seen them live one time.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen them live. They performed. My husband and I had just gotten together, and we were in Indiana, and they were at the Hoosier Park Casino. And I mean, they were well past their prime. This was like 2009 or 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And they put on a amazing show. And these gentlemen had to be in their 70s at the time, late 60s. And they put on an absolutely amazing show. So, and they sang the song. It was great. I mean, I liked them anyway. My mom loved the Grassroots. That was one of her favorite bands. And you have Signs, a 5-man electric band. I didn't know anybody else did that song. So it's amazing about this guy wanting a job, and he stuffs his hair under his hat.
You never heard the Tesla version?
I have never heard of it.
Tesla is a good version of it.
Yeah, it's a good version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
It's in the 80s, I think.
That's very 80s.
Yeah.
With the rot hairband kind of.
Well, Agent Pepsi One, it sounds to me like I need to perform a cover of "She's a Lady" this coming Thursday.
Yeah, I think you should. I think
I will.
I've been trying to get Doomcock to sing a cover of that, by the way, and I think he would be great at it.
He would be absolutely. He's a tenor one. He absolutely would.
He
Harvey
won't
did
do
it this
for
past
me.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
Harvey
watch,
did it.
you
But
watch
nobody did it.
Tom Jones live in his heyday,
Oh my
man,
God.
he's getting like Elvis level reaction.
Yeah, he's doing the Elvis legs. Yes. Yep.
And the women in the audience are reacting as
Oh
much
my
as like to
God.
Elvis, man. He's getting the whole.
All right, Agent
Well,
Pepsi.
And as I
One,
recall,
got it.
Heather, you have a story where he could have almost been your uncle.
All I have to tell
Yeah, he tried to pick up my aunt. He was hitting on her big time. Him and Engelbert Humperdinck both were trying to hit on her. There was like a club in Michigan that was kind of like a Vegas-y type club in
my
that era.
God.
And she was
Love it.
she was a backup singer dancer for one of the local bands that they had there, but they used to have big names come in occasionally in the summer season because Michigan's a big summer like resort town. So they got like Tom Jones, Engelbert Humperdinck, and she's one of like voluptuous red hair, just like the whole 9 yards. And like Tom Jones, Engelbert were all like hitting on her, trying to get her to, go hook up. And
all I can tell you is if I somehow time warp myself to like 1966 or something, or 67, and he would say something to me, I think I would just faint. I mean, oh my God, Tom Jones! Oh my Jesus!
Yep, Agent Pepsi One. Whenever you're on,
Oh my
I'll be sure
God.
to sing a Tom Jones song.
Oh,
The three that I know
oh my
that I can
God.
sing by heart is "She's a Lady," "What's New Pussycat," and What's Love Got to Do It? Not What's Love Got to Do It.
Yeah, but
No, it
you know,
ain't
he is-
unusual.
You know,
Ain't
he
unusual.
is.
Not unusual.
Not
Yeah,
unusual.
but you know, he is one of those singers that is an actual. I mean, the
Mhm.
man is a consummate performer.
Don't tempt me, Rob Wright. I will bust
Oh.
out into it.
Yeah, Lombardi
The moment's notice. You do the
1969.
Carlton dance, I will do it.
Delilah is a good one, right? Why?
Oh, yeah, Delilah is a
Oh
great
my
one.
God, that's a
Yeah,
beautiful
Delilah's
one.
really good.
Did you-
I need to
you
learn
guys
that
know
one.
that he did in a theme for the Thunderball. He heard his voice singing that song.
Mhm.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he was out for like 9 months or 10 months.
You
Mhm.
don't go from baritone into high E's without breaking your voice.
Mm-mm.
That's just
No, yeah, especially that song that he hits. What he hits on that.
well, that's up to Rob Wright's discretion, Tim. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna sing unless
Yeah.
I'm told.
Maybe towards the end, we'll see. But anything
No,
else?
there's
on
only
this
one
end?
song that I want to
Agent
sing
Pepsi
at the
one?
end.
Because I haven't gotten mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is it for these. But like I said, I mean this top 40 from 1971 is just amazing. In fact, the
Mhm.
top 100 is amazing.
Okay, so here's my take on this. First of all, the Carpenter Superstar. I can't think of this song without thinking of the movie Tommy Boy.
Yep.
Where
Yep.
they're in their car and it's all wrecked and stuff and burnt. And they have the radio and this song comes on and they're baby,
I miss
baby,
Chris
baby,
Farley.
oh,
Chris Farley
baby.
was great, dude.
God.
God.
Yeah. I have to agree with Agent Pepsi One on the Grassroots, Temptation Eyes. I mean, you have so many good songs by the Grassroots, and Temptation Eyes
Oh my
is
God,
right up there
yes.
with them. You got Midnight Confessions.
Oh my
and
God, that's
Sooner
my
or
favorite.
Later. I mean, these are classic songs. The Grassroots is an underrated band in my opinion. Amos Moses is a funny song. You just have to be in the mood for it. Of course,
It's a fun
Jesus
song.
Christ Superstar is a real interesting musical, very interesting
Mhm.
song. I found someone on my own. I listened to that for the first time. It's not a bad song. It's one of those cheating songs that started to appear in this era too, where you started to hear about these ones. And basically, the girl leaves him for somebody else, and he's like, "No, I found someone on my own too."
Oh no, I think that's not, but if that's the one I'm thinking of, that was awful. Where he's like, oh, like they're both basically cheating on each other, and they're just
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm leaving. I've been cheating on you. They're just like, oh, well, that's fine because I've been screwing somebody on the side anyway.
Yeah.
Like, what a
You know,
terrible song. That was
Yeah.
awful.
I thought it was
God.
interesting, but it's one of the first of the cheating songs, and we got into cheating songs big time in the 80s.
Jeez.
We've
At least
already,
it's not Hey Joe.
yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
She's a Lady by Tom Jones. We've already talked about it. I love Signs. I knew the original by Five Man Electric Band and the other one in the 80s by Tesla.
Yeah,
Great
never heard
song.
that
I
one.
love the ending.
Yes.
And honestly, I think it's a good message at the very end. Thank you, God, for thinking about me. I'm alive and doing fine. I think that's something that needs to be said or needs to be thought of nowadays because we got so much going on and so
Oh my
much,
God. Yeah.
Mm.
You're right.
Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers is just a beautiful song. I love it. I think it's a fantastic song on this list.
It's beautiful.
Uncle Albert, Eleanor Halsey is a catchy song. It's just overplayed. Growing up with classic rock, they play the blocks and you'd hear it just all the time. It's a good song, and Paul McCartney does some interesting things with his voice, but it's overplayed in my opinion. And then what's going on? Marvin Gaye finally broke free of the Motown sound to go down his own personal track, and he gets very personal with this song and some other ones going forward from this. And I think this is a very personal song for him. It's a very interesting song, very introspective, and it's very interesting to hear this about the persons in the war in Vietnam, but also just in life and in general and what was going on in the late 60s, early 70s, and that time. And I think it reflects the time, and is a good song for that, to understand the history and understand different points of view for that time. So,
Not to mention that those B sharps are harder than heck to hit.
oh my goodness, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Marvin Gaye just had some amazing chops. I mean, just an amazing singer. Flat out one of the best. So,
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah. So, and one of my buddies just texted me the scene from Tommy Boy. On the camera. Yeah. Love that scene. Love that. Anything else from this out of 10? I think overall this list is phenomenal. So
I mean, I do have one more thing to add.
yeah, sure.
I think, I mean, you have so many, I mean, absolutely talented performers. I mean, Bill Withers, Marvin Gaye, and so on, Tom Jones. But, you know, Murray Head, I think, is the most underrated one of this whole list. That man, he is, if you listen to the stuff he does, I mean, of course, you know, Jesus Christ Superstar, that's where he got his start, basically. You know, when he was, you know, was famous. But I mean, that man, I think he has the biggest range and it's not appreciated. And I think, you know, there were some things he did in his career that basically didn't get him the fame that he deserved. But yeah, I mean, if you ask people who Murray Head is, few people will know him outside of, you know, One Night in Bangkok.
Yeah. I mean,
Which is great
I think
also.
people around musicals know him very well, but yeah, you're right. And pop circles and other types of music, you don't get a lot from Murray Head, but
yeah, and
very
you know,
talented.
I mean, and I do have a trivia question for you. In the London version, no, I'm sorry, not in the New York. It says New York or London version of Jesus Christ Superstar. In 1969, the lead singer was the guy from Deep Purple.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Ian
I
Gillan.
didn't know that.
He was the lead, and he did that. And this was before, you know, Deep Purple had this other singer that became a surgeon afterwards.
Oh wow.
Cool. Interesting.
And
Didn't know that.
and then Ian
Wild.
Gillan took over.
Interesting.
Fascinating. Cool. All right. Well, let's get back to the news here, and we're going to talk about the rest of the year and tell you what else happened in music news here. Got a little cool little slide for this. So we're going to go from July. We're going to go through November because December is packed with a lot of good stuff. And Heather's going to tell us about some real heavy hitters here, but we're going to start off on a sad note. Heather, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, a lot of sad things in this group here in the summertime. So July 3rd, Jim Morrison is found dead in a bathtub in Paris, France, age 27. Oh God. Elaine Ronay would claim, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's weird. Years later, that he assisted Morrison's lover, Pamela Corson, in covering up the circumstances. That's the whole thing is tragic. July 4th, the Fillmore West is closed in San Francisco with a final show featuring Santana, Creedence Clearwater Revival, and the Grateful Dead. That's a good show.
Oh, wow.
July 9th, Grand Funk Railroad becomes only the second band after the Beatles to perform a sold-out concert at Shea Stadium, breaking the Beatles record of selling out the venue. Cool. I did not know that. August 1st, the Concert for Bangladesh at Madison Square Garden, New York, starring George Harrison, Ravi Shankar, Ringo Starr, Bob Dylan, and Leon Russell, also featuring Billy Preston, Eric Clapton, Jesse Ed Davis, and Badfinger. And the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour premieres on CBS. August 14th, The Who released their fifth studio album, Who's Next, reaching #1 in both the UK and the US. August 31st, John Lennon leaves Britain for New York City and will never return. That is so sad, too. September 11th, The Jackson 5, a Saturday morning cartoon series based on the popular Motown group, The Jackson 5, premieres on ABC. I've seen that cartoon, actually. I had completely forgotten about it until I just read that. How funny. September 11th to the 12th, the Avondero Rock Festival takes place in Valle de Bravo, Mexico, with an estimated attendance of 300,000. October 5th, Black Sabbath performed the first set of their Whiskey A Go Go performance in all-white tuxedos. October 29th, the Allman Brothers Band guitarist Dwayne Allman dies in a motorcycle accident in Macon, Georgia, after colliding with a truck. God, another tragedy.
Yeah. Oh.
Ugh. And October 31st, Pink Floyd released their 6th studio album, Metal. The album is considered a turning point, moving away from their psychedelic sound to a more progressive tone. It peaked at number 3 on the UK albums chart. November 6th, Cher earns her first solo number 1 hit in the US, Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, staying atop for 2 consecutive weeks. Eventually, the song was certified gold. November 8th, Led Zeppelin released officially untitled 4th studio album, which would become the biggest selling album of the year 1972, the band's biggest selling album, and the 4th best selling album of all time. Yay!
Yay. One of the
Great
greatest albums of all time. Anything on those before I get into December?
Yeah, I want to say something about Dwayne Allman. I don't know. I mean, there's more to this, and this is the moral of the story. It is my understanding that this wasn't, well, it was an accident. It was an accident, but my understanding was that he was very drunk on his motorcycle, and the truck was basically stationary. So this is something that could have been prevented. And the Allman Brothers, that whole band, like most of these bands, had serious dependency issues. I mean, it's just sad. But every time I hear the Allman Brothers, I hear I hear the song "Whipping Post" in my head.
I love that song. That live version.
Whipping Post,
great song. Great
so
song.
Great. That's my favorite song.
Love Melissa and Jessica.
Whipping Post is my favorite of theirs, and their the live at Fillmore East version, with the extended guitar solos.
It's just, I mean, it is phenomenal. It's just, it is sad that you have all these wonderful musicians that they passed before their time, like Jimi Hendrix. What Jimi Hendrix passed on? He was high on drugs, and then he took this crazy German sleeping pill that you had to cut in half. So he didn't cut it in half. He took it with alcohol. It's just stupid.
Yeah,
and that's the only way you can describe some of the behavior. The behavior is stupid,
it's idiotic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin are all part of that 27 club.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just absolutely, unbelievably. I mean. It's just it boggles the mind.
Yeah, I mean, I could it goes the whole sex, drugs, rock and roll lifestyle, but some of this stuff is just beyond ridiculous. Like taking a sleeping pill and then going out. Like, I mean, I don't know. They're just beyond. It's so far beyond just having a party lifestyle. It is.
Yeah, I mean, the sleeping pill that he took. He was supposed to cut it in half. Who in their right mind designed the sleeping pill that you have to have, or quarter, whatever it was?
Any pill that you have to cut in half or quarters, it's like they're impossible to cut, even with a pill cutter. And a bunch of drunks and drug addicts trying to cut a pill. It's that's not gonna work.
I mean, the thing is, I have insomnia at times. Well, most of the time, and I take Lunesta, and I would be damned if I had to cut a Lunesta pill. So it's just, I understand, and I don't. It's not that I haven't been drunk before, but this is just insane. I just shake my head at all this stuff, and it's just sad. It's just sad because all that talent is gone. I mean, what could have Hendrix was at the peak of his career when this happened. So was Joplin, and so in many ways were the Doors.
Guys, I got to step out for a few minutes. I got a friend that needs somebody to talk to. I will be back as soon as possible. I apologize.
Hope everything's okay with your friend, Tony. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, and you've got all kinds of things, and the funny thing is that you got Cher in her career, and she married Greg Allman, and they had a son. So.
A lot of the artists, if you think about like David Bowie, Yeah,
Mhm.
sorry, it was Eric Clapton. He says he cannot remember. I think it was 1971 or 72. He says he cannot remember anything of that year because of his cocaine dependency.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them came out of it, managed to survive it, not overdose, not get in any accidents, but all of them, man, that was a hard drug taking era. It just,
Mhm.
yeah, you hear guys talk about it and, yeah, they don't remember a lot of it. Like, I mean, hearing Ozzy talk, he doesn't remember like the whole decade, I don't think,
Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy is still alive. I mean,
I
this
know.
is just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing the crazy stuff that a lot of these guys did and lived
Oh
through and
yeah. It's
lived to tell.
insane listening to him and hearing about it. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you've got all this stuff, and sex, drugs, and rock and roll is very much real. But these guys just live hard lives. So, all
Yeah.
right, well, let me get into the December because December's jam packed with just on its own. That's why we just kept December off and made it its own. So, here we go. Belgian singing duo Nicole and Hugo are married in Wemo. I've never heard of either one of those two. I don't know the significance,
Neither
but
have
it's
I.
in there. December 4th, the Montreux, I'm butchering this, the Montreux Casino, Montreux, Switzerland, catches fire and burns during a performance by Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention when a fan fires a flare gun into the rafters.
Oh,
Members of Deep Purple, who were due to begin recording at the casino the next day, watched the scene from the hotel across Lake Geneva and later immortalized the events in the song Smoke on the Water. So that's where Smoke on the Water came from. Some fan shooting a flare gun in the air at a concert. Crazy stuff. December 10th, Frank Zappa breaks his leg after being pushed off the stage by a deranged fan at the Rainbow in London. Boy, he can't catch a break, can he? First they perform in Switzerland. The place burns down because of a crazy fan shooting a flare gun, and then he breaks his leg in London because of a crazy fan. Oh my goodness. Maybe if he would hire that. Oh, wait a minute. We need him to hire Hell's Angels too.
no.
But,
Security wasn't as tight back in those days. Like
no, it
concerts now,
wasn't.
man, you just get like a shakedown before coming in.
Well, that and also the other thing about security with bands is they're out the door like right after they get done. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't see them; they're gone.
Oh yeah,
It
right.
used to be that
Right
you
onto
could
the
wait
surface.
for them or be outside or anything like that. That you can't do that anymore. But all right, December 31st has a ton of stuff. So here we go. Bob Dylan makes a surprise appearance for the encore of the band's New Year's Eve concert at the Academy of Music, joining the group for 4 songs, including "Like a Rolling Stone." That's pretty cool. Lancelot Lane's "Blown Away" is the beginning of Rhapsody music. Interesting. Ann Wilson joins Heart, which moves to Vancouver, British Columbia, because 2 of the members were drafted and they were avoiding the draft. Just adding more knowledge about that because I knew about it. Kenny Rogers and the First Edition issued their greatest hits album, which will sell over 4 million copies worldwide by the end of the decade. They also star in their own TV series, Rolling on the River, which runs until 1974. So I guess they checked in to see what condition their condition was in.
How thick their wallet was.
Yeah, no kidding. Brad Whitford replaces Ray Tabineau on rhythm guitar in Aerosmith. Elton John has his first international hit with Your Song, which I think is a very, very pretty song. Donna Summer begins her recording career under the real name Donna Gaines.
Yeah, hot stuff.
Yeah, Rick Springfield.
That is not true. That is not true.
You're not.
That one is not true. I know that for a fact. Donna Summer moved to Germany in 1969 to star in the German version of Hair.
Mm-hmm.
And
cool.
Donna Summer married, it might have been late 68. Donna Summer married a German gentleman in 1969, and she had like 2 or 3 children with him. And that is why she spoke fluent German, because she lived in Germany for like 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but no, she started her career in, I want to say Boston. Was it with a talent agency in 67? And then she moved to Germany, and then and then she moved back to the States and became the disco queen that we know. She turned out to be.
Was the stuff before 71, was that all stage stuff though? Like, was that all live on stage?
I mean, it might have been. It might have been. But I mean, that would still be a recording and singing career, I would think.
Yeah, performing, singing, maybe just not like on her recording, like as a solo artist, maybe.
Yeah, I mean that could very well be that she didn't have any, recordings released. But I know for a fact that she was a part of the German Hair in 1969.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, she was in Munich.
Yeah, and Munich, I understand, is one of the big musical towns in Germany.
Oh, yeah, I mean, huge. And at that time, they were getting ready for the 1972 Olympics, so they had a lot of people coming in.
The infamous 1972 Olympics.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean, it was bad with with the terrorists.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me continue on the rest of December 31st, because all this happened on December 31st. Rick Springfield leaves Zoot for a highly successful solo career. Rick Wakeman joins Yes.
Yeah.
Conrad Schnitzer leaves Cluster, which dissolves. The Beach Boys musician Daryl Dragon and singer Tony Tennille meet and begin performing together as
Captain and Tennille.
Yes, Captain and Tennille. And then
they were the Beach Boys. I had no idea.
Yeah, he was part of the Beach Boys. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yep. And then the American Musical Instrument Society is founded. So
nice.
Interesting stuff on December 31st. It's crazy.
Hey, I have another thing. Kenny Rogers on the first edition.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember her name, but it's also on YouTube. My condition, just dropped in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The lady that was singing with them up until I want to say 1969. They interviewed Karen Carpenter for her spot, and Kenny Rogers told Karen Carpenter that she can't sing.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's funny. Well,
you know who else Kenny Rogers helped bring to LA and get started?
Who?
There was a band called Shiloh, which was created in Denton, North Texas, which featured a drummer that was very famous, or that became very famous. Do you know who that is? He went to North Texas. He's from East Texas. Very famous drummer and singer from a band that got this start around 1971, but none of their stuff is on here yet. What? No, not ZZ Top. That would be Don Henley.
Really?
Yeah, Don Henley. Kenny Rogers got Shiloh to LA and helped sponsor them. And then Shiloh broke up and he became part of Linda Ronstadt's band.
She does not have good things to say about him.
Well, there's a lot. I mean,
yeah,
they do owe a lot to Linda Ronstadt, but at the same time, Linda Ronstadt, Linda Ronstadt, I think there's a little bit of jealousy in there too. So
yeah,
but
I mean, how can you release a greatest? Obviously they were successful, but how can you release a greatest hits album from a band that is 4 years old?
Well,
exactly,
it's all
right.
about the marketing and
make money.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but I mean, when I think of greatest hits album, I think of your top 15 songs maybe, and not your top. How many songs did they have that were really, really, really good? Maybe 3, 4.
Yeah.
Well,
it should be
the other
something
excuse
that's
is we don't have enough material to make a new album.
Or they're under obligation, right, to the record company to release another album, and they don't want to put their new material into that contract, so they just release the greatest hits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that could be.
Because they're like,
are we talking about Neil Diamond? Turn on your hot light.
Greatest hits. Like if you you have one more record to do under your contract, but you hate your record
Mhm.
company and you've got all this good material, but you don't want to give it to them because maybe you have a sucky deal. Put out a greatest hits album, you satisfy your contract, and see
Yeah,
ya.
I guess that could be it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they were crossover country and Billboard, so that there's part of that went into it. But I think part of it also is they got into TV, so that's what it was. So, but
I do apologize again for
no worries.
Oh,
Everything
stuff
okay?
out. She was just discouraged because a certain video, a certain stream got 18 plus, and I told her, says, don't be discouraged, don't quit. She was going through the motions, and I told her, says, no, we love you. That's what I would do for anybody here, because there's been a lot of people here that have done it for me. We all feel like this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's the reason why we have friends to pick us up when we're down. So I'm just paying it forward.
Yeah.
And she's a good friend of the channel and a great collaborator, and we love her. And I was happy to be able to talk to her. So
there might be a good song about that coming up here.
Yeah, we're actually that is ironic. You are correct.
Good segue. All right, let's
you
go.
got a friend.
20 to 11. Here we go.
Right.
All right. So Joan Baez, the night they drove Old Dixie down. You got Do You Know What I Mean by Lee Michaels. Mr. Big Stuff by Gene Knight. Who do you think you are? The aforementioned You've Got a Friend by James Taylor, written by Carole King. Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones. Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose with Treat Her Like a Lady. Smiling Faces Sometimes by The Undisputed Truth. Want Ads by Honeycomb. Tired of Being Alone by Al Green. And Me and Bobby McGee by the great Janis Joplin.
Me and Bobby McGee. Man.
All right, who wants this 10?
Man, the times that I got stoned, me and Bobby McGee.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Well. There's a funny story behind that. Funny story behind that. I guess that means by default I'm taking this list first. We have a multi-hose, let's just call it apparatus, where we could, get really cushy, as it were. And the name of said apparatus was Janis Joplin, and we would always play Me and Bobby McGee while utilizing said device for its purposed means. You've Got a Friend by James Taylor. Wes Cagle, I give him a lot of crap on my show. So does Sean Carter. We go back and forth making fun of, each other being girly men for listening to James Taylor. But You Got a Friend was also quite thematic to what I had to do just moments ago. But Tired of Being Alone by Al Green, also really, really good. And The Night They Drove Down Old Dixie Down, that's my favorite one of this 10 here. That song, very beautiful, very well executed, up tempo, love it. But this 10 here is pretty solid. So we'll pass the buck.
Yep. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I'll take this one. I like most of these. There's some that I like most of these. The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. Being a Southern girl. This is, this song is about history.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that should be thought about. And there's another one up. Oh my God, number 11, Me and Bobby McGee. Where they throw the body off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Folks, I've been to the Tallahatchie Bridge, which is in the Mississippi Delta. It's off Highway 51. If you ever get there, just be careful because that bridge it's really rickety. So just be careful. This is great because I'm sorry, I'm from Mississippi, so
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, but some of the other stuff on here, Brown Sugar is great. Treat Her Like a Lady is a great song. But some of the others, Want Ads. Mm, Smiling Faces sometimes I like. That's a really nice song. You've Got a Friend. I'm not a big James Taylor fan, but I have to be in the mood to listen to him. He does have.
Hey, like
Yeah.
Wes Cagle in
He,
chat says, Stark of Iron, I'll never forgive James Taylor for turning me into a girly man in the 70s. Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
now who said that in the chat?
Wes Cagle.
Wes
That's
Cagle.
We
I
give
don't
him,
know.
we give
Wes
him
Cagle.
crap all the time.
You were
Wes
talking
Cagle.
about the Maggie May activity. I would think you'd put on the James Taylor to get the ladies loosened
Yeah,
up a little bit.
the thing is,
Well,
with
at the end of the day, God invented a light switch for a reason, and then I said too much.
Oh no!
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Hey now,
Jeez.
hey now.
but
All right.
this is the time of the singer songwriters,
Mhm.
and James
Mhm.
Taylor certainly was one of them.
Mhm.
If I had to pick between Maggie May and any James Taylor song, I would pick James Taylor.
Well,
It's just I do not like Rod Stewart. He has 2 or 3 songs that I can listen to over and over again, but I'm just not a big fan of his.
Yeah.
Kirk 130 says, read the lyrics to Fire and Rain and tell me your allergies didn't
Oh
just act
yeah.
up. Every
Oh,
time
God.
I perform that number, my allergies act up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fire and Rain is sentimental. Very
Yeah, but
sentimental.
That is
tell
a
me,
heavy-hearted
your
song.
your allergies will act up all day long, all year long.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah,
Anything else, Agent Pepsi One? So it's Me and Bobby McGee, your theme song for this period?
Hey now.
no, it's going to be The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. That one is amazing, but I do
Mhm.
like. I don't think Joan Baez was the proper person to sing that song. I've
She
heard
wasn't
some
the first.
Yeah, I've heard some covers by male singers that sounded much better.
The band.
Yeah, that one too, and there's another one. I can't think of it right now. But I mean, this guy just had this deep, like a pastor, like a rumbling voice.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have of these.
Yeah. Heather, what do you think?
Yeah, like Johnny, I think it's Free Holy says
Yes.
in the chat. The Stones stopped performing Brown Sugar a few years ago. I had heard that too. It's because all the little snowflakes, their brains melt because people can't listen to controversial lyrics anymore. Apparently,
How the
which
hell is that controversial? I mean, it just.
oh well, if you're a snowflake, that's you can't talk about these kind of things. So they
Hell,
the head explodes when you say anything like that. So
hell, if you're a snowflake, you just have to go out in the sun a little more
yeah,
and melt away.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's disappointing, but man, that song is one of the classic guitar riffs of all time, instantly recognizable. Still a great song. It's a shame that they caved and quit performing it, but I love that one. Me and Bobby McGee, I absolutely love, and Chris Christopherson wrote the lyrics, and I agree with you, Rob. He's just great at writing lyrics. This just paints such a cool picture. You kind of feel like you're right there going along with them, and but his performance of it is just not the same. Like Janice just owns this song, and
Mhm. Oh,
her
absolutely.
like
Yes.
God, her voice, man, can just be like soft and subtle, or it can be strong and powerful. It can be raspy.
It's
I mean,
most of the time it's both.
yeah, it's just great. I heard it's such a great, just the way she uses her voice, right, to show to have different emotions and different inflections. It's not just like the straight up singing. I think she's really awesome. There's been a ton of covers of this song, but to me, hers is the version. She really owns it, and it's kind of a tearjerker. It makes you nostalgic. Just you're sentimental about being somewhere without really, even if you don't identify with the song, which is what great songs really do. Yeah, you've got a friend. I think it's great. I prefer Fire and Rain, but James Taylor's another one of those beautiful singer-songwriters. I think that, do you know what I mean? That was a pretty good jam.
Mhm.
It's okay. Yeah, the rest of them they're okay, but those are the standouts to me, I would say.
Yeah. Great stuff here. So, yeah, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down was written actually by somebody from Canada, and it was performed by the band. It was on their second album in 1969. I don't know if that's the version you were thinking of, Agent Pepsi One, but they did that, and I think it's just a pretty song. Do you know what I mean? Is another cheating song, but it's got a good
Yeah,
groove to it.
but
It's
it's
like,
got a good groove to it. It's like it's
yeah,
a
it's got a good
jam,
groove to
right?
it. It's
Yeah.
just like I just saw her and Bobby yesterday, and you're like, so she left him for his best friend?
I
What the
know.
heck?
And he seemed like a cool dude too, man. What's wrong with her?
Yeah, I think Mr. Big Stuff is one of those that you hear the instrumental and you know it, and it was used in a lot of commercials, so that got a lot of play. The one thing I'll mention about You've Got a Friend, it was actually written by Carole King, who we're going to see later on in this, but she's another talented singer songwriter that doesn't get enough credit. She wrote a lot of great lyrics for other artists as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, she's just great. Brown Sugar was controversial during the time because you didn't have a lot of interracial marriage or interracial couples during that time. And it was kind of the start of the 60s and kind of this movement. And so that's
so
kind of
funny.
what Brown Sugar is a little bit about. Wes Cagle, sorry, Wes Cagle. Stop bringing up Taylor. The chat gets more.
No. We will never let you live it down. If Sean Carter and I can't let you live it down, neither will Rob Wright and us. No.
Yeah.
Hey, you
You
listen
will
to
cry
Tiffany.
forever.
You
Yeah.
listen to Tiffany, man. That's way worse than James Taylor.
We
You got
Yeah, no kidding.
confiscate his heavy metal card. We
man
really
card revoked.
Wow. Hey, give him a pass. He just had a birthday that people forgot to celebrate. So happy
Oh,
birthday.
no.
What are you
Wes
talking
Cagle.
about? I
Happy
wished him a
birthday,
happy
man.
birthday on the Starcast last night.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
And then on
You
Fed
did
Happy
Show. And then on
birthday.
Fed for Hire Show. So neener
Yeah.
neener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Wes Cagle. We will stop giving any grief and stop bringing up James Taylor. I think Treat
Stop
Her
bringing
Like,
up James Taylor.
yeah, Treat Her Like a Lady is a really good song. Very catchy, very upbeat. Smiling Faces sometimes is okay. Want Ads is another cheating song. I'm going to put everything up on the Want Ads. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I had to look that up, but that was not readily available. Tired of Being Alone by Al Green. Al Green is so underrated. He's got a lot of pretty soulful songs.
Yeah.
And then Me and My Bobby McGee by Janis Joplin from Port Arthur, Texas, who is classmates with this famous coach, NFL coach and college coach who went to high school with her. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No clue.
No. I don't follow football. I'm sorry.
I'm not up on the trivia.
He coached the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s.
Jimmy
God.
Johnson?
Yeah, he
knows?
went to school with Jimmy Johnson.
Wow.
They're both from Port Arthur,
I'm
Texas.
surprised.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep. So, yep. Janis Joplin went to school with Jimmy Johnson. Now, I think Janis Joplin has an amazing voice, very raspy, very East Texas. But like you're right, it's another song written by Chris Christopherson, who is an amazing writer again. And yes, her version rocks. Her version is the absolute best, in my opinion. And she just had so many wonderful songs. I love the part of Bobby McGee where she just towards the end, where she just call him on, all that part at the end where no, her voice just carries it. It's just great. I love it.
Yes.
But yeah, so many good songs here.
It's so sad hearing Chris Christopherson talk about that, though, when, that he found out, after she passed that she had, recorded it and they released it after she died. And he said, he had to listen to it over and over and over and over again in private because he knew he was going to hear it in public, like around people. I can't remember what the occasion was, but just so that he could stand, like, without breaking down. He just had to keep playing it, like, get it all out of him so he could actually listen in public. It's just so sad.
Yeah, very sad. And she's another member of the 27 Club, which is just awful. Awful Club. All right. Anything else about this 10? And by the way, happy birthday to Wes Cagle. Many happy returns, buddy. Yep. Yep. Johnny Frihole says Carole King. It's too late is great. Yes.
I will drink to your belated birthday, Wes. Cheers.
Yeah. So, all right, folks, it's the time in our countdown when we go outside the top 40 and talk about some of the songs that we like that didn't make the top 40 that probably should have. I've got a list of some of them that I like. But
the Lizard King right there in the corner. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, all right. Yes. But who wants first crack at this?
Oh, my Lord. Of all the songs here, I want to sing them even more. I'm a sucker for Chicago. I love Chicago. I have the vinyls.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful music. Me and You and a Dog Named Boo should have been very much higher on the list.
Oh, yeah.
Mercy, Mercy Me should have been in the top 20.
Yes.
But I love Marvin Gaye because I love Motown.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Diamond, I know that Agent Pepsi 1's not so much of a fan of Neil, but I digress. That was a very
fantastic song. No.
But Riders of the Storm,
beautiful.
Riders on the Storm should have been the top 5. In my opinion.
I agree. I agree.
But some of the songs that are not listed here that I want to make mention of. Easy Loving by Freddie Hart. Are you kidding me? Why? Why isn't that up there higher? Oh my God, that breaks. Bridge Over Troubled Water by Aretha Franklin. Just right outside of the box. I love Bridge Over Troubled Water. The cover of Amazing Grace. Absolutely beautiful cover. Should have been higher on the list. But other than that, the other one that I want to throw out there is I Hear You Knocking by Dave Edmunds. Okay? I hear you knocking, but he can't come in. Sorry. Can't help it. Can't help it. Great song. It's a bop. It's an earworm. And it should have been higher on the list. Richie Havens gets the honorable mention for Here Comes the Sun, but I did like the Beatles version better. And those are my picks.
Yeah, very good.
Right. Who wants to go next?
Well, this is cool because you actually got a bunch of the songs that I had on my list.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. you and I are of like mind.
I am. I said Neil Diamond. I think it's my favorite Neil Diamond song. And it's just like if you've ever been like I don't live where I grew up, and it's hard to explain like that weird because I've lived in a lot of different places, and you've never lived at home for a long time, right? And it's hard to explain. But he just sums it up right in just a line like that. LA's fine, but it ain't home. New York's home, but it ain't mine no more. It just summed up all of that in that one brief line there. And I love his voice and the emotion in it on this song. Mm-hmm. Wild World, Cat Stevens. God, I love Cat Stevens. Absolutely love him. And this song, I read that the chord sequence is one that he used because it's common in Spanish music when he was listening to a lot of that. And so then I listened to the song again. I'm like, oh yeah, it does kind of sound like a Spanish guitar. It's a cool guitar, like a chord progression there. And the way it goes with the piano, the way all the instruments work together, the sound of his voice is so unique. Absolutely love that one. Won't Get Fooled Again, The Who I actually had because the intro to the song is so iconic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Riders on the Storm, of course. Mm-hmm. Mr. Bojangles, Proud Mary. Those are all awesome. But I also had to throw in I Woke Up in Love This Morning by the Partridge Family. Because I think David Cassidy is awesome. And that's not really like a bubblegum boy band kind of sound. Like the Partridge Family had some good stuff. I've been listening to their music. It's pretty good.
When I woke up this morning, you were on my mind.
Yeah, I like that song.
Yeah.
And then albums, obviously, Black Sabbath, Master of Reality, has Sweet Leaf, After Forever, Children.
I saved that for you, by the way.
Into the Void, Lord of This World. I mean, that that album to me.
You're in the Black Sabbath T-shirt. I'm an Ozzy impersonator. I saved that one for you.
Oh God, that's just such a great album from the
God,
opening.
it is. Oh my God,
it's just fantastic. That, and, I mean, Led Zeppelin 4, but I would all, I got Master of Reality kind of right there with it. I really do. I just think I love that album. So great. Obviously, American Pie came out. Aqualung, Jethro Tull, the Allman Brothers. So much great stuff.
Yeah.
Really, just a great.
There's one thing that I love. It's a symptom of the universe.
Oh my God.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Agent Pepsi 1.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that Riders on the Storm, I think it should be not just in the top 5, but maybe in the top 3.
I was about to say, is that a fight bell about to ring? Don't you dare! Don't you
I mean that is a but I will preface that with saying that Riders on the Storm, if that song would have been released in say 1967, 68,
oh God,
it would have fit right in with that time period as well.
Yes,
it is for me the quintessential Doors song. I mean, it's stunning. That song is absolutely stunning. Let's see what else they have. They have.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and make another note to perform this one for Agent Pepsi 1.
Okay. Hey, Richie Van Heaven. Here Comes the Sun. It's beautiful. Love Her Madly should be much higher in the top 40 for sure.
And making a note to perform Paranoid for Wes Cagle. Got it.
Yeah, okay. And I said I agree with Heather. That is, I'm sorry, I've also lived in a lot of places in my life. And that is, when I hear that, somehow I see myself in all those places.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not that I dislike Neil Diamond, because I actually like Neil Diamond. I just have to be in the mood for his music.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I mean, he is, he has like Tom Jones, but just in a different way. He's mesmerizing.
Well, they're both baritones, but
Yeah, I mean,
Tom Jones is much more lively than Neil.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they're both mesmerizing in their own way.
Yes.
Then you have stuff like this. These Jackson 5 songs. This one should be like at number 115.
Agent Pepsi 1, we're going to send you the cartoon set.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think we need to send you to Toontown.
Box set of the Jackson 5 cartoon.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't even waste the time to sending me the link to that. It would cost too much if you would take that data and divide it to your unlimited accounts. Who can argue with the Who? Won't Get Fooled Again. That was also the theme song of that CSI show Miami.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. A cover of the song Woodstock. I don't know much about this band that sang it, but I like Crosby, Stills and Nash version better. But I mean, there's a lot of beautiful stuff up here. Some of it needs to be higher up on the thing.
Right.
You and a Dog Named Boo is just it's at the end of the bubblegum era.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, how much can you have there?
It's also the song I was singing when Agent Pepsi 1 came on, but that's another story altogether.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
That's true.
Oh no.
Do we have time for me to perform number 8 on the list at the end of the show?
At the end of the show. But all right. Anything else? Any others before we get to my take on this?
I mean, that's all I have. That's all I have. But some of these, I agree with them being there, but some of them, I mean, they shouldn't even be on this list at all. Like I said, the Jackson 5, number 114.
Yeah. So, definitely. So, first off, I'm going to agree with my buddy Johnny Frijole and say the Doors
agreed.
Highly underrated, underranked.
God, yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, Riders on the Storm is my favorite Doors song. I think Light My Fire is a good song, but it's overplayed, and they need to play more of the Doors, like LA Woman, Love Her Madly, Riders on the Storm. Those are great songs, and Riders on the Storm is my favorite. I have to admit, this last set has one of the worst songs. I can't stand this song. Every time I hear it, I just flip the radio. The Wedding Song. I don't know if you've heard it. It's
I hate
in
it.
theory, it's supposed to be a good song because it kind of follows scripture,
supposed
but
to
it's
be.
so annoying. And the fact that they played it at some weddings that I've gone to, I've just been out of my mind going, no, that's a terrible song. I had to mention it because it's at number 92. You guys mentioned I Said by Neil Diamond. Great song. I mean, that should be in the top 40. What's it's doing down here? It's great. Theme from Shaft by Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is another great one that's on there.
Yeah.
And then I agree with Heather L. I Woke Up This Morning by the Partridge Families. Yes, great song. Love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Won't Get Fooled Again is great by The Who. Here Comes That Rainy Day Feeling Again is another good song. Lonely Days, I think, is actually a really good song by the Bee Gees that's underrated.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Let's see. Amazing Grace by Judy Collins. I agree with you there. Stark of Iron. Let's see. What else do we have here? When You're Hot by Jerry Reed was a popular one. Cat Stevens, Wild World. I agree with you guys on that one. Great song. Cat Stevens is underrated.
Absolutely. 110%.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. I Just Want to Celebrate by Rare Earth is a great song. Bring the Boys Home by Frida Payne is one that gets overlooked sometimes. Won't Toke Over the Line by Brewer and Shipley. I love that song. That's a great song. I'm sorry. I like that song. Won't toke over the line, sweet Jesus. Won't toke over the line. I like it. Marvin Gaye, Mercy, Mercy Me is a great song. If by Bread. Oh my goodness. Bread, the song If is one of their best songs ever by them. I mean, it's worth mentioning Another Day by Paul McCartney's okay. Me and You, A Dog Named Boo, you guys mentioned. It's a great song. The Stampeders, Sweet City Woman. I like that song. That's a good song with the banjo in it.
Yes.
Tommy Jane's Dragging the Line. Proud Mary by Ike and Tina Turner's great. Beginnings, Color My World. Sung by Terry Kath, who lost way too soon in a stupid Russian roulette game. But Beginnings of Color My World, it's like the ultimate slow dance song. Color My World is. Dragging the Line, I mentioned that. Let's see. There are a couple others in here. Mr. Bojangles by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band is another good one that I think gets overlooked. It's really good. It was played by dozen different artists, but I think Nitty Gritty Dirt Band does a good job. It Don't Come Easy by Ringo Starr is another good one that I like. I absolutely love Hamilton, Joe, Frank, and Reynolds, Don't Pull Your Love. I love that song. It's a great song. And then Lynn Anderson had a crossover hit with Rose Garden. I don't know if you guys know that one. I Beg Your Pardon. I Never Promised You a Rose Garden.
Yep. And then it was in the New Order song, that lyric.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm going to adapt that. I am going to adapt that. For my friends, I beg your pardon. I never promised to pass you.
But yeah,
I never promised you a passing grade.
Yeah. But yeah, there's so many good songs on here that should be up there. But 1971 has a lot of great hits. I mean, all the 1970s has a lot of good stuff in it. So.
Yes, it does.
But anything else that we're leaving out of the top 40?
Yeah, I was gonna say LA Woman when you were talking about that song by the Doors.
Oh yeah, I love that. LA Woman is a great song by the Doors.
Billy Idol did a cover of that is absolutely amazing, and the video to that is probably his best video that he made. It's just stunning. And that one gets like no airplay ever.
Mm-hmm.
So
I haven't heard Billy Idol's version, but
I'm a Billy Idol fan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
great.
all right. Anything else on this? Let's go to our top 10.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Top 10. So, top 10. Knock 3 Times by Tony Orlando and Dawn.
Yes.
Just My Imagination. The Temptations. Take Me Home, Country Roads by Fort Worth's own John Duchendorf, otherwise known as John Denver. You've got Go Away Little Girl by Donny Osmond. Indian Reservation by actually the Raiders, but it's really Paul Revere and the Raiders is how I knew them. The Bee Gees with one of their biggest hits, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? Then the Osmonds, One Bad Apple. Too Late, I Feel the Earth Move, or It's Too Late and I Feel the Earth Move by Carole King. Another 2 great songs, double A album. And then Rod Stewart with Maggie May, Reason to Believe, another double A. And then Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog.
Jeremiah Was a
Three Dog Nights. Rounds us off with the top song, Who Wants This 10?
I've took 2 at the lead so far. Somebody else can nail it.
Okay, I'll start. Hey, Knock 3 Times is an absolutely beautiful song. It's a kind of cheesy, but I love it. Tony Orlando and Dawn. I mean, no matter what you say about them, they're consummate performers. They're entertainers. It's beautiful. Take Me Home, Country Roads. I could listen to that song over and over and over again.
Oh, good.
Again, with John Denver, I have to be in the mood to do so.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
Hopefully you're going to be in the mood because that's the cover I'm doing at the end of the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful song. Number 6 is a song that makes the snowflakes melt again. Indian Reservation.
Yeah, good song.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is. I always thought that song was from like the late 60s, though. But then let me skip ahead a little bit. I do not like Maggie May, never have. And Joy to the World, Three Dog Night is one of my favorite bands from this era. It is just their harmonies they're just so spectacular. Anyway, that's what I have for these.
Cool. Who wants to go next?
Good. I'll go next. Take Me Home, Country Roads to me is just magical.
Yeah,
just
beautiful.
It was an honor to learn it on keys.
God, it's just beautiful. I mean, it's beyond like nostalgic and emotional and magical is just the way I can describe it. I mean, the lyrics are so just make you nostalgic, and the acoustic guitar. I think there's like banjo and steel guitar, and then the harmony of the vocals and the chorus, and it's just such a beautiful song. That's one I can just put on repeat and listen to over and over again.
Well, I got an upvote from Heather.
All right. Knock 3 Times, man. I love that song. I remember as a little kid, I used to love that song and I would sing it like over and over again in that, the horrible little kid voice when they can't sing. And I didn't even know, obviously, I'm talking like 4 or 5 years old. I had no idea what they were talking about, which kind of makes it funny too, right?
Yeah, banging on the radiator.
Yeah. Because my mom had this stack of 45s, right? She used to play them all the time, and this was one of the songs in there that I discovered. I don't know. It's such a fun song. It makes me happy to listen to it.
Me too.
I do like Maggie May. I think that mandolin sound in there is really cool. It's a good catchy song. Joy to the World, obviously. Three Dog Nights, a great band. I really like I Feel the Earth Move by Carole King. That's one of my favorite songs by her. Indian Reservation, I think it's a cool song. That yeah, cool beat. Unfortunately, the freaking Osmonds in there. God, yuck.
Again, that's where you and I will differ. I like Donny Osmond.
I like him as a person. I think the Osmonds, I like them as people, but I mean it's like Bieber-esque.
Tony,
Yeah.
you burly
Well,
man.
you're the one that said it first. The boy band movement may have started in the 70s.
I think it
is what
did.
It is. Yeah.
I think it did. All right, that's it for me. I think this is it's a good group to top it off. A lot of
Mhm.
good
You know,
stuff.
something to be said about, Tony Orlando and Don. Every
Mm,
time you see a performance of theirs on video,
yeah.
those two ladies, those backup singers,
Mhm.
Dawn unquote, they were always impeccably dressed.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, they were always, stunning. Their outfits were always stunning. I mean, absolutely. Someone who's done, cosplay, I tried to model some of the stuff on their outfits.
Oh, cool.
It is just so. I don't have the budget to do what they did. Those dresses are
Yeah.
expensive.
Their performances are fun too.
Yeah,
They're
Mhm.
just cool.
and it's just it flows. It's just sometimes you see stage performances, you can tell that it's not, of course they're rehearsed, but it's not, it just doesn't flow.
Right.
And theirs it's so smooth.
Yeah, they're great. I love watching them.
It's something else. I can wear heels. Sometimes I wear like 5-inch heels, but I cannot dance like these two in heels.
Oh, funny.
It's just like, I can dance in heels, but not like what they do. It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Absolutely.
Now the shoes. I have no problems wearing the stilettos, but I cannot dance like them.
Gosh.
And you got to get used to being on the balls of your feet.
Yeah.
Balance.
Well,
Easier said than done for
Yeah,
somebody
definitely.
flat-footed like me.
Oh, come
like I
on.
said,
No,
like I said,
Rob Wright has seen me. I waddle like a penguin, don't I?
No comment, but
I got flat feet, dude.
let's get to Tony's impression of these top 10 before we get too into women's
Well, like I
fashion.
said, I will be
See your
performing number
stilettos.
8 at the end of the show, so please stay tuned. But outside of number 8, again, Maggie May, again, that's a lovemaking song to me, and to 4 others, including myself, it would be 5. Joy to the World is absolutely iconic. Whenever I used to host Stark parties in my old place, or whenever I would go to other parties at my friends, one of the things we used to do is, like, I'd knock on the door and I'd be like, Jeremiah was a boat, bro. What friend to me? It's like it was kind of like our call sign to, like, get in the door, So that song is near and dear to my heart. Unlike the masses, Donny Osmond's "Go Away, Little Girl" is. I'm telling you, listen, it is as cheesy and as shallow and as schlocky as it is. It is still like an example of 70s culture, early 70s culture for the up and coming generation. That's the reason why whenever I hear Donny Osmond, I think, oh, this is some early 70s stuff. This is some 70s stuff. Again, as somebody who also loves Motown, Just My Imagination by the Temptations, which is on the down from their career. Obviously, it's no Ain't Too Proud to Beg or My Girl, but it's still a very iconic Temptation song. And again, I'm a sucker for Motown. A lot of good hits here. Knock 3 Times, obviously. Catchy beat, earworm, stays in your head. But all in all, a good top 10 to round this out. Rob Wright, your thoughts, sir?
All right. So Knock 3 Times, I love. Twice on the Pipe, but the answer is no. Great song. It's just so catchy. You're just sitting there going, oh my gosh. I agree with you, Tony. Just My Imagination with the Temptations. Mm-hmm. Such a smooth, soulful song. Very beautiful song. Kind of sad in a way. Because he imagines a life with this girl, but she doesn't even know he exists. Yeah, he doesn't get her. Country Roads by John Denver is greatness. It's probably my favorite John Denver song. Mm-hmm. The only time I don't like it is when West Virginia plays it as their theme song if we're playing against them. But that's a whole other thing with sports that we're not going to get into.
Well, West Virginia takes liberties at the tempo and and register. But
Yeah, it does. Donny Osmond's "Go Away, Little Girls," not the first version of it. It was originally written and recorded by Bobby V, and it was written by Carole King. Carole King is yet another song written by her. She's got like 128 songs that she's written for other artists. So it shows how talented she is. But yeah, Donny Osmond, the Osmonds were so big right in the early 70s. It's crazy. Paul Revere and the Raiders, Indian Reservation, is actually a remake of a song that was done in 1959. It was recorded by Marvin Rainwater, and they re-recorded it. It wasn't a big hit, and they re-recorded it. I don't know. It's sad that Snowflakes hate this song because it's really about the Cherokee people and what happened with them when they were forced on reservations. It's actually historical.
Yeah.
These kind of songs should be songs that make us go, okay, what happened? What did the U.S. government do with these people? What happened with them? And that's what this song is about. The Bee Gees, "How Can You Mend a Broken Heart?" You're getting into the falsetto Bee Gees versions, which you're going to see a lot of going forward. This is one of their big hits. "One Bad Apple" by the Osmonds was originally written for who? Do you know?
I don't know.
Agent Pepsi One's favorite band, the Jackson
The Jackson
5.
5.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yes.
No way. I was going to say Ozzy Osbourne.
Survey says the Jackson 5.
The Jackson 5.
I bet Ozzy could rock a version of that, though. You'd actually like it to sing it.
Don't tempt me. I will do it as Ozzy. Don't.
One Bad Apple don't spoil the whole bunch love.
Oh no!
Oh my
What
God.
was that? I couldn't hear you. I gotta use me good here.
Tell us about One Bad Apple, Ozzy.
Oh my God, this is great.
Guys, you guys have literally just helped me like co-write the set list for Thursday.
This is so great. Oh my God, I
Man,
love it.
that might be something I have to listen to while I'm on a plane.
Yeah.
All
Are you
right.
flying on
Carole
Earth
King,
Day?
I think honestly, I feel the Earth movie is good, but "It's Too Late" is a pretty song too. Both those songs, double A list, because "It's Too Late." I mean, oh my gosh, that "It's Too Late, Baby, It's Too Late" that we really did try to make it. Something inside us died, and I just can't take it. I mean, that comes from way deep. I mean, that's such a deep song. I like it. I agree with Heather. "Mandolin" on "Maggie May" is fantastic. I honestly, I like the music of the song a little bit better than I like the lyrics and the actual song because it's just so pretty. And then "Reason to Believe" I think is overlooked. "Reason to Believe" is the other side of that. It's double A, and "Reason to Believe" is a great song. And then obviously "Three Dog Night." Originally, just so you know, when they were originally coming up with this song, it was originally Jeremiah Was a Prophet, and it was going to be a little bit more of your religious type song, and it just didn't sound right. So they made it Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog and Joy to the World. So anyway, that's our top 10, and that rounds out our top 40. Anything else that you guys want to say about this top 10?
I got something to say about this whole top 40, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
These songs of 1971 have been amazing. Not the top 40, but the top 100, with the exception of the Jackson 5 songs, which shouldn't be in the top 100. But they were just amazing. And I think, this is an explosion of basically creativity.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's absolutely beautiful, these songs. And I love listening to them myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this is great stuff. I mean, I pulled up a playlist of these songs, listened to them today to review for here, and it just was, it was jamming. It was great. Fantastic. Okay. So before we say our goodbyes, let's get to Mr. Stark, and let's kill this here, and we'll put Mr. Stark on its own here.
Why, thank you. Thank
No,
you.
we don't want me.
Oh, hi, Rob.
Here.
Nice impersonation of me, by the way, Rob. Well done.
There you go. There you go, Mr.
All
Stark.
right, this Country Roads has a special place in my heart, which is one of the reasons why I learned it on keys. Now, in order to avoid the wrath of the YouTube gods, I will relent from pulling out the piano to play alongside this. But maybe down the line in the future in my public and/or member Discord, I will be happy to oblige a performance with keys in the very near future. But cheers, drink them if you got them, tip your waitress, etc., all that good stuff.
You need some backing vocals too?
I got this. No, I know this one by tempo, structure, and everything because I learned this on keys. But you're more than welcome to jump in if you'd like. I don't care. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, oh, take me home to the place I belong in West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, a misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Oh, country roads, oh, take me home to the place I belong in West Virginia. Oh, mountain mama, take me home, country roads. I hear a voice in the morning hour, she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, oh, country roads, oh, take me home to the place I belong in West Virginia. Oh, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, oh, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, oh, take me home down country roads. Take me home down country road.
Yay!
God,
Good job,
that was
Tony.
awesome.
Great job.
All right, I accidentally
That was
unmuted myself
awesome.
when I was singing along with you.
Yeah, I had to. Now, if you ever want to hear me actually perform this to the piano track, I think I actually uploaded. I don't know if I was like half cocked or whatever, but I was like, you know what? I just feel like recording me and Bessie singing Country Roads on keys. It's on my channel somewhere abouts. Thank you all so
Great.
very much.
Cool.
And I might just perform an encore this Thursday. Never know.
Yeah, it's hard to sync with anybody on YouTube.
It's the Dock of Death. StreamYard is
I guess that stream
bad
StreamYard.
for that. It's
Yeah.
absolutely
I
bad.
tried to sync with you, but I couldn't, and I had to mute back. I was like, ugh, not working.
Yeah, you can't time it right. I was listening and I was like, there's a weird echo. At first I thought his mic was echoing because it was
No.
a delay on it. And then I'm like,
No,
oh,
I was trying to sync with you on the back end, but
Thank you, Agent Pepsi. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Listen,
Oh my God, it was amazing.
awesome.
why? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it was great.
Awesome.
All right, let's plug away. Agent Pepsi 1, what have you got going on?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to Friday, the last day of the school year. I'm going to get rid of those
Booger
germ
factory.
reactors.
Booga. Sorry, had to.
So I'm going to get rid of all the germ reactors. Yeah, I'm worn out. I am worn out, and I'm looking forward to the summer vacation so I can get back on my YouTube channel a little bit,
Cool.
add things.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Very cool.
All right, Stark of Iron, you've already teased
Well, I
Thursday. What else have you got going on your channel?
I actually have a commercial. Let me go
Oh, you do?
ahead. And, let me go ahead and present it. And don't worry, the musical track is YouTube free. It is free on the Creator Library, and it was actually referenced to me by Sean Carter. So don't fret. Let me go ahead and grab it.
Let's go.
You may play at your leisure.
I don't see
as
it.
soon as it's uploading. There it is.
Okay, here, hang on. You gotta love when Apple does this, and I can't. I'm just making you guys bigger. It won't let me scroll. There we go. Here we go. All right, adding to the stage.
Hi, this is Alf here, and I thought we were going to be talking about something important.
Were we?
Yeah, a commercial. That's right, a commercial.
Oh, that's right.
A commercial. Hi, this is Ginger Wolf.
Hi.
She's our resident Black Widow over the Stark of Iron channel, where you'll find parodies, songwriting, voice acting, puppeteering, and a heck of a lot more. Maybe a little pole work, maybe a little fire eating. Maybe, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a wee bit.
Just like enough to add like a little spice to the pot.
A little spice to the pot. How do you like your chili? Do you like your chili hot?
I eat delivery peppers.
I like my chili so goddamn hot you can cook a hog's ass with a spoonful.
So you mean like me?
Oh yeah, just like our great Ginger Wolf.
Yeah.
That's right. So check out the Stark of Iron channel, where Snowdub wanted a commercial of us. This is what you get.
Yeah.
We're totally cutting the last bit.
And you'll be able to find the next broadcast tomorrow night, Monday night at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central, an episode of the Tower After Hours where I'll be interviewing the great K-Log of the old school Fandom Menace way back in the day, alongside Snowdub, the man who actually veritably inspired me to become a puppeteer. Please follow those links, click that bell, and have yourself a wonderful night.
Great, thanks, Tony.
You ended it
Cool
early.
commercial. I like it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
You ended it early. Nobody got to
Oh,
see the
sorry.
links.
Was there something else up there, the bell?
There were links there if you want to show
Oh,
them. There are
oh.
links to my YouTube, my room.
Oh, if
link
you want to
and,
share them out,
links.
go ahead and share them out in the chat.
All right. But yeah,
That's
you
fine.
like that, don't you? It's good, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
Are you trying to keep Mexican Iron Man away with all the elves?
Listen. Mexican Iron Man gets all of the extra parts. That is my iron cousin, and I send him all of my extra parts from the labs, including but not exclusive to a rabbit chicken launcher, a guacamole dispenser, and a tequila decanter located in his helmet. Those are all technologies that I assisted him in making sure that he has the best Mexican Iron Man suit around. And last but not least, be sure to check out the great Victor Van Doomcock, future ruler of this holy terra itself. He will be having Pop Culture Breakdown this Wednesday, in which both Heather L. and Rob Wright are both stars of. I miss you guys.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of that, Heather, I know you're not a YouTuber, but you're a wrench in so
Yes,
many different places.
I'm a wrench on just Doomcock's channel. Just because I go to people's chats and they make me a wrench, I can't call myself a wrench because I don't actually do anything. Like I don't.
But you're a wrench on mine and you're a wrench on Rob's.
I know, but I don't do any work, guys. Come on. Like I only take credit for being one wrench. One
Heather,
wrench.
you're
at
the
a time.
mightiest of wrenches.
Yes.
One wrench
Mightiest
for
of
me.
wrenches.
No, I'm a wrench on Doomcock's channel and an occasional guest on Pop Culture Breakdown. So come check it out. The movie this week is The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Right?
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really good one, actually.
It is. Just finished the screenshots last night.
Yep. Other than that, I'm looking forward to a little break because Rob will be away. So I have a mini vacation.
Well, Heather, that means you can hang out with me on Thursday in the chat for the matinee.
Okay, yeah. I will do that.
Seeing as I'm going to be singing like 3 or 4 of your favorites because you guys totally helped me co-write the set list tonight.
If you do that Ozzy cover of the Ozzy song, I'm there.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna do it. Be sure to remind me in the chat. I am a bit knackered. Be sure to
Ozzy doing one bad apple. Oh my god!
Be sure to remind me in DMs. I'm a bit knackered so that I can get it.
All right, so folks, here's what's coming up. So, like you guys alluded to, Pop Culture Breakdown is on Wednesday on Doomcock's channel. This Doomcock feature Rule of Earth Overlord DVD. The movie of the week is The Man Who Shot Liberty Balance, one of my favorite westerns. Stars John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart and Lee Marvin. So great cast, great story, great movie. One of the best westerns of all time according to IMDb. And I personally like it. It's a John Ford film as well. So check that out. And then Doomcock also does Friday Night Frolics, which I'm going to miss this week because I am headed out. I am actually going to Europe for a couple weeks doing the Band of Brothers tour. And so I will be back in June. And that first Sunday in June, the 8th, I will be here and I'll be reviewing my trip. Hopefully I won't be too groggy, but we'll be on there with Heather L. and we'll be reviewing all of Band of Brothers, just going over kind of the highlights. There was a special edition that had some of the stuff for the men sharing their experiences. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then I'm going to show you all the pictures that I take from my tour. And then the week after that, on the 15th, we're going to do the hits of 1972. So everybody that you see here will be back for 1972. So that's a little bit less than a month away. So we're going to have that. That'll be for June. And then in July, I'm kicking off. Basically, we're going to start doing weekly shows on my channel. So you'll see various members of this community here on this. We'll do, we did Band of Brothers. So we're going to go to the Pacific and we're going to do Masters of the Air. Heather L. and I are going to do that. And that'll be like the first weekend of every month. Then the next weekend will be a new segment where I'm going to do Westerns, and we'll do it kind of a Western from a historical point of view. We'll talk about a movie that we love, but also talk about the history behind it because it's.
I nominate Shane.
Oh yeah, we'll get to some of the good ones there.
I definitely want to talk. I want to talk Cowboys and Indians with you guys. Don't leave me out of loop for that.
Yeah, definitely. If you want part of that, and Agent Pepsi One, if you want part of that, and then the third week of the month, we will be doing our usual, swinging through the 70s with music. We also will do some shows where we'll feature maybe 1 or 2 artists, and we'll just talk about those artists and their albums and what they were doing to create those albums. And then the fourth week of every month, it'll be kind of a hodgepodge. So it'll be kind of like different things. So one of the things that I'm thinking of is looking at the importance of practical effects. And I'm hoping to get some of my mates from Pop Culture Breakdown on that to talk about practical effects and
I love practical effects.
And so we'll talk
I'm
about
down for anything you do, dude. And I'm honored to be here with you, my friend.
So yeah, definitely Stark. Any of you guys are invited to that. But that's what the channel's going to do. We're still going to be Gen X centric, but it's going to be, talking about different genres to spread it out and really cover a lot of.
If I may say something, do us a super solid chat. Be sure to refresh the stream as soon as it's done. And leave a like if you haven't already, and leave a comment. YouTube will post videos up into the queue towards page 1 based on the amount of comments they have at the speed that they are received. It will help Rob Wright grow. And be sure to check out his playlists and give him the watch hours he needs. This man needs to be monetized.
Yeah, I'm about 2,000 hours away from it, so need all the help we can get.
Yeah.
So, also, folks, honestly, share the stream if somebody likes learning about 70s music. I mean, we spent the show talking about the top 40, but we also gave you some great facts and great antidotes, and it makes for a good podcast. While you're working out or while you're walking or whatever you're doing. So, check those out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. All right. Any final words before we say our goodbyes?
Don't eat yellow snow.
Well, it's almost summertime, so I don't think they have any danger of that. But
Okay,
Thank you.
anyway.
don't drink that strange lemonade that you get from the street corner.
Oh wow. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you so much for watching us and for joining us. We certainly appreciate all the comments in the stream. We love you all. Thank you so much. Everybody have a good week, and we'll see you on the various shows this week.
Yeah. Good night, chat. Thank you so
Night.
much.
Have a great night.
Yeah.
God bless you guys. Toodaloo.